Hi everyone, thank you for joining me again. So I'm just going to come out with it. The UK is under attack right now, and for the reasons I will explain. Let's think about what's just happened over the last few days. We've had the MOD hack where 270,000 MOD personnel and veterans have had their bank details leaked, hacked. We don't know the full extent yet. We've had the border force, we've had the border force machines all go down in absolute chaos, trying to get in and out of the country. And then today we've had this huge fire in Cannock. I'm not calling these a coincidence. I'm putting all these together and I think, again, this is my speculation, guys. This is only what I'm thinking from my own experience. I've got 24 years of experience working in this industry, analysing things, giving my opinion, UK government, foreign governments, and it would be my opinion now, my professional opinion, that the UK is under attack. Obviously, we've got those three incidents. There's an incident in Scotland where there was an NHS leak and patients' data has gone missing. So if there's something tomorrow out in the main, another something goes wrong, a huge water main bursts. In fact, was there a water main burst a few days ago? Yeah, there was a water main burst another day. So that's 4 incidents within a week. But let's stick to these 3 because they're on consecutive days. Remember what I always say, guys, big things happen on a Friday because the stock market closes, it gives people time to readjust. It gives people, it gives those people who knew it was happening, and whether they're betting against the market or with the market, they can make either more money, or if you want your losses to be limited, then obviously it's going to limit your losses as well if you have prior knowledge. So let's keep those 3 things in mind then. Obviously, MOD hack, the border force machines going down, and this huge fire in Cannock. Remember a few videos ago, I will try and link it at the end of this video if I can find it. Anyway, a few videos I pointed out that foreign adversaries, they're not going to be sending, James Bond type people with tuxedos and expensive watches and Aston Martins. They are going to be now paying criminal gangs to do these attacks, to do these things. So could it have been a criminal gang that took out the mail storage facility in Cannock? Absolutely, 100% that could have been a criminal gang. Could it have been a criminal gang that did the border force, hacked into the, well, they're not calling it a hack, but I'll come on to that afterwards. Could it have been a criminal gang that took down the border forces, the border forces systems? Absolutely. Could it have been a criminal gang that took down the MOD? Well, no, because, they're kind of already talking about it being China. But, it doesn't really matter now because that's how the media will portray it. They'll say, oh, no, this is a criminal gang. Oh, no, that was a state operator. Oh, no, that was an administrational problem. It doesn't matter. It's all means to an end. So all these 3 things, if something happens tomorrow, I suspect mainstream media will start connecting these dots. But guys, I'm always ahead, aren't I? Yeah, let's be honest, I am. If there's a serious incident tomorrow, a big incident, then we can pretty much guarantee they'll pick up on it. I'm picking it up on now, guys, and I'm telling you, I think the UK is under attack right now. So let's just talk quickly about why we'll never be told that we're under attack. If you look back to, there's lots of examples. There's the examples when asteroids are coming towards Earth and they only tell us the day after. They said, oh yeah, an asteroid flew by the other day closer than the moon. You're like, whoa, really? I'd like to know. I think the best example I can think of at the moment would be the Cuban Missile Crisis. So for those of you who don't know, it was it was in the 60s. Basically, you've got 2 superpowers, nuclear superpowers, Russia and America. It was kind of the crescendo of the Cold War. Basically, and to keep it short, the Russians, Nikita Khrushchev, he said he's going to send intercontinental ballistic missiles down to Cuba. This would obviously be in range of America, and it would give America a lot less time to react. So America said, well, no, we're not letting you bring your missiles down to Cuba. So then the Russians said, well, we've got them on ships, we're sending them. The Americans said, Kennedy, he said, well, you know what? I'm going to put a demarcation line around Cuba. if you go past this line, we're going to sink your ships. So the Russians said, okay, you sink your ships, we're going to fire our intercontinental ballistic missiles from Russia and we're going to have a nuclear apocalypse. Kennedy said, let's go. So the Russians were sailing down to to Cuba. The Americans were on high alert. They had, and if you was in the UK at the time, it was I believe it was like the FA Cup final or something, or there was a big football game on. Nobody knew this was happening, guys. Not one, well, some people in the UK, but there was no public announcements that this was happening. You had the V-Force, the Victor, the Valiant, and the Vulcan aircraft. They were our nuclear deterrents at the time. And guys, just as a caveat, the Vulcan bomber is probably the most beautiful airplane that's ever been built. But that's a side topic. Anyway, so you had all our strategic bombers on the airfield. They were ready. They had the engines running. They had fuel being constantly pumped into the engines. And they were basically told, guys, if you get the green light, RAF, you're going to leave, you're going to leave the UK and you guys are going to take out and destroy Eastern Europe. Not just a few towns and cities, they were going to level Eastern Europe. And then the Americans, because it'd have taken them longer to get over, they were going to set off, they were going to go over the Arctic, they were going to take out Russia. We were this close to going out, guys, in the Cuban Missile Crisis. And there was not one public announcement. This information only came out years later. So, and just going back to the nuclear weapons as well, each one of the aircraft that was armed with nuclear weapons, each bomb had more destructive capability than all the bombs dropped in World War II. And when you try and picture that, it's the amount of energy, and it's just phenomenal how much power is behind in these nuclear weapons. But anyway, guys, so that's what happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis, and that's why we're not being told at the moment, because there could be mass panic, there could be a bank run, which I think people are worried about, and there's all sorts of civil unrest things that could happen if people think we're unsafe. But I'm telling you now, guys, my professional opinion, we are under attack. That's my professional opinion, guys. All right. If you don't agree with me, put it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys, okay? So the final thing I want to talk about, so remember a couple of videos ago how we said, how I think it was like World War III just got closer or something. So basically, we was talking about how President Macron, he's already agreed in public that if the Ukrainians ask for assistance, then the French will send troops. Now, what he said is, if the Russians push through the front line and the Ukrainians ask for assistance, then they'll send probably the French Foreign Legion. I don't know. I would assume it would be. But that's what he said. So an article like 2 hours ago, I'm getting in trouble for posting articles in the description, guys, but it's an article from The Independent. So Ukraine's Zelensky says Russia has now got the initiative in the east, but new Western aid is on the way. So basically, Zelensky is now admitting they can't hold the front line. And they're drip feeding us this information so that when it comes out and like, oh yeah, French troops are going, you can see the steps towards it. So remember what I said as well. I said, okay, that's fine. What do we mean by the front line? Where is the front line and who decides that? The reality is there's a strong argument that the front line has already been breached. Zelensky's saying that the Russians have now got initiative, but, Western aid is on the way. I was reading an article that, the earliest that this new ammunition could get there is June. Guys, the way the Russians are pushing, there's going to be nothing left in June. The only saving grace at the moment for Ukraine is the River Dnipro. The River Dnipro literally cuts the whole country in half. It's probably, there's not much in it. It will be almost in half. I think the Russians there's a realistic chance of the Russians making a huge land grab up to the River Dnipro, and then they would have to stop there. They don't have the logistics to cross it. Don't forget, if this happens, the Ukrainians will have enough time to blow all the bridges, so it'll make it really difficult to get over that bridge. And that's the situation we are in the world at the moment, guys, all right? Absolutely perilous, and I don't think anybody else is talking about this. Nobody's connecting the dots. And guys, I read your comments. you guys give the best comments. And, you know, I'm working on this microphone system. I think it's me. So one of you commented I should get a Bluetooth microphone and stick it on there. And I think that may be the way ahead, because I'm quite animated and I get excited and I move around a lot. So yeah, I'm moving away from the microphone, but I've seen those boom arms. I might try and get one of those as well to fit in. But guys, I'm going to leave you there because, you know, that is it. I've kept it short. I've kept it to the point because I know your time is important. I'll see you guys in the morning when, you know, I'll give you another update, and no doubt some more crazy stuff's been happening. But guys, take away from this, I believe, my opinion, that the UK is under attack. The reason why, you know, the three things I said. Also, there's the, if you want to put it into that bracket, you've got the problems with what was it? Some water company a couple of maybe a week ago or something. All these things now. I can't remember these things happening in such short succession, such, you know, so quickly and condensed. So I'm saying this is, you know, this could well be, and I believe it is, you know, an attack. So, and now you can pay criminal gangs to do this. So you've got total anonymity of that. You know, you can pay with cash. It's very hard to trace. You know, are there people in the UK who wish to do us harm? I mean, there was a recent article out saying that 3,600 people have just vanished into the UK. These were the asylum seekers who had been earmarked for Rwanda flights. Guys, we're living in very dangerous times. It's going to things are going to get very interesting, let's say the least, in the UK over the next couple of months, especially with the escalations. And, you know, guys, sorry, I'm rabbiting on, but this has just come to me. Let's not forget that the main reason I should do a video, do you know what? I'll do a video about this tomorrow. Tomorrow morning's video will be about this, guys, okay? The main reason that the Ukrainians managed to hold off the initial attack of the Russians was because of British aid. Nothing else. Britain was the first country to drop off a ton of anti-tank systems. Now, I'll talk more about the anti-tank systems tomorrow, guys. I'll do a little bit of a deep dive into the anti-tank systems and the tactics that the Ukrainians were using and how the Russians couldn't match that equipment, but how now that equipment's gone, the Russians have caught up with their tactics and their strategy. Sorry, I forgot how to talk. Yeah. And I'll do a bit of a deep dive into that tomorrow, guys. I've been rabbiting on for 12 minutes now, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Really helps us out when you do that, guys.